I'm going to be discussing the unspoken struggles of being a people pleaser. If you find yourself constantly trying to please others and never taking care of yourself first, this video is for you. We'll be unpacking the psychology behind it and showing you how to break the cycle. So if you're ready to learn how to not be a people pleaser, let's get started. So, what is a people pleaser? People pleasers are people who find it difficult to say no to others and often put their own needs aside in order to please others. They may also feel guilty when they do not meet the expectations of others or when they cannot please them. People pleasers often feel as though they are obligated to make others happy at all costs, even if it means sacrificing their own well-being. People pleasing can be a positive trait when it comes to being empathetic and supportive of others. However, it can become a problem if it prevents people from setting healthy boundaries or if it leads to feelings of guilt and resentment. It is important to recognize when people-pleasing is becoming an issue and to learn how to manage it. So what is the psychological reasons behind people-pleasing? People-pleasing is a behavior that is often rooted in a need for approval and validation from others. People-pleasers may be seeking approval from others in order to boost their own self-worth. They may also have a fear of rejection or abandonment, and may fear that if they do not please others, they will not be accepted. People-pleasing can also be a result of low self-confidence. People-pleasers may not believe in themselves or their abilities and may look to others for validation or confirmation. This can lead to a vicious cycle in which people-pleasing is seen as the only way to receive approval and boost their self-esteem. Lastly, people-pleasing can be a result of trauma or a need for control. People who have experienced trauma may resort to people-pleasing in order to maintain control over their environment. They may also be seeking to protect themselves from further harm or rejection. Is there any benefits to being a people-pleasing personality? Yes, there are some benefits to being a people-pleaser. People-pleasers are often seen as generous and kind, and can be helpful in bringing people together. They may also be seen as dependable and trustworthy, which can make them great team players. People pleasers are also often seen as good listeners and can be incredibly supportive of others. They may be able to provide comfort and understanding to those in need, which can be invaluable in difficult times. So then, what are the potential risks of being a people pleaser? While there are some benefits to being a people pleaser, there are also some risks that come with it. People pleasers may find it difficult to set boundaries and may end up in situations that are unhealthy for them. They may also find themselves in relationships with people who take advantage of them and do not respect their boundaries. People pleasers may also feel guilty when they are unable to please others or meet their expectations. This can lead to low self-esteem and feelings of inadequacy. People pleasers may also end up feeling resentful of those they are trying to please, which can lead to further feelings of guilt and shame. How can you break the habit of people pleasing? Breaking the habit of people pleasing can be difficult, but there are some strategies that can help. The first step is to recognize when you are trying to please others and why. Once you have identified why you are people pleasing, you can begin to set healthy boundaries and practice saying no. It can also be helpful to practice self-care and build your own self-esteem. Focusing on your own needs and building your own confidence can help you to break the habit of people-pleasing. It can also be helpful to practice assertiveness and learn how to communicate your needs and boundaries clearly. Here are some strategies for managing people-pleasing tendencies. In order to manage people-pleasing tendencies, it is important to practice self-awareness and recognize when you are trying to please others. It can also be helpful to practice self-care and find ways to boost your own self-esteem. It is also important to set healthy boundaries and practice saying no. Setting boundaries can help you to maintain control over your own life and give you the freedom to focus on your own needs. It can also help to practice assertiveness and learn how to communicate your needs and boundaries clearly. How to cope with the guilt associated with people-pleasing. The guilt associated with people-pleasing can be difficult to cope with. It can be helpful to practice self-compassion and remember that it is okay to prioritize your own needs. It is also important to recognize when you are feeling guilty and why. Once you have identified the source of your guilt, you can take steps to address it. It can also be helpful to create a mantra or affirmation to help you cope with feelings of guilt. This can be something simple like, I am enough, or I am worthy of love and respect. It can also be helpful to practice mindfulness and recognize when you are feeling guilty and to remind yourself that it is okay to prioritize your own needs. Here are some self-care tips to avoid feeling overwhelmed by people-pleasing. People pleasers can often feel overwhelmed by the need to please others. It is important to practice self-care and find ways to reduce stress. Taking time for yourself can help you to recharge and refocus on your own needs. It can also be helpful to practice mindfulness and recognize when you are feeling overwhelmed. Taking a few moments to focus on your breath and center yourself can help to reduce stress and anxiety. It is also important to practice self-compassion and remind yourself that it is okay to prioritize your own needs. Taking the time to focus on your own needs and feelings can help to restore balance and prevent feelings of guilt and resentment. Other helpful resources for people pleasers. There are a number of resources available to help people pleasers. Therapy can be a great way to work through the psychological reasons behind people pleasing. Support groups can also be helpful in connecting with others who are struggling with similar issues. There are also some excellent books and online resources available for people pleasers. One of the most popular books on the topic is The People Pleaser's Survival Guide by Harriet Lerner. Other helpful books include The Art of Not People-Pleasing by Michelle L. Casto and Boundaries for People Pleasers by David D. Burns. Conclusion. People-pleasing is a behavior that can have both positive and negative consequences. It is important to recognize when people-pleasing is becoming an issue and to take steps to address it. There are a number of strategies that can help, such as practicing self-care, setting boundaries, and learning how to communicate your needs clearly. It is also important to remember that it is okay to prioritize your own needs. Taking the time to focus on your own needs and feelings can help to restore balance and prevent feelings of guilt and resentment. There are also a number of resources available to help people pleasers, such as books, support groups, and therapy. People pleasing can be a difficult habit to break, but with the right strategies and support, you can learn to manage it and take back control of your life. If you found this information helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more helpful content. Your support means a lot to me and helps me continue to create content that can help others. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Also, please forward this video to anyone who you think might be benefited by watching this content. Please check my other videos as well.